Once upon a time, a young girl named Nanami Momozano was living a happy life with her father. However, things took a turn for the worse when her father accumulated huge debts and ran away. The debt collector kicked her out of their home. Suddenly, Nanami found herself living on the streets with nowhere to go. One day, while wandering in a local park, she came across a man named Maikage, who was strangely afraid of dogs. Nanami saved him from a dog, and he in turn gave her a kiss on the forehead and directions to a temple where she might find shelter. Desperate for a place to stay, Nanami followed his directions and was surprised to find out that she was now the replacement for the earth deity. Inside the temple, Nanami met a young fox demon named Tomoe, who had been waiting for the correct owner to return for many years. However, Tomoe was not happy to see a human girl take Maikage's place and left for the demon world. Nanami later discovered that Tomoe had been carefully maintaining the temple and writing down every prayer and offering in his master's absence. Determined to find Tomoe and work out some kind of agreement, Nanami ventured into the demon world. However, she caught the attention of some demons who noticed her weak powers and human smell. They chased her through the demon world, including a demon hag pretending to be a helpless old woman. As things were looking tough for Nanami, Tomoe watched from afar without intervening. Nanami decided to take matters into her own hands and forged a contract with Tomoe by kissing him. Tomoe became enslaved to her, although he was not happy about losing his freedom. It was clear that he would make her suffer for a long time to come. Despite this, Nanami remained optimistic about her new role and the adventures that lay ahead of her. Next morning, Nanami wakes up in a new room that Tomoe had arranged for her. Tomoe tells her that she can increase her divine power by answering prayers and being a matchmaker. To check on her powers, Tomoe asked her to make water into sake, but she failed. Excitedly, Nanami learns that pop star Shinjiro Kurama is a transfer student at her school. But Tomoe only allows her to attend school if she wears a hood to conceal her deity mark. This mark is invisible to humans, but visible to other gods and spirits who seek to steal her divine power. Nanami becomes depressed when she learns that Kurama is actually a jerk, which worries Tomoe. During lunchtime, Nanami is framed for stealing Kurama's money, but Tomoe makes a grand entrance in front of the other students, clearing her name and serving her lunch. The next day, Nanami decides not to wear the hood to school and is approached by Kurama, but she turns him down. He calls her up to the school roof to question her negative attitude towards him, causing her to leave in disgust. Tomoe realizes that Kurama is a crow Tengu yokai who seeks to replace Nanami as land god. He manages to wound Kurama's face, turns him into an ostrich, and chases him through the hallways. When Nanami finds out about this, she orders Tomoe to revert Kurama back to normal. She treats Kurama's wound, telling him that he should always look his best in front of all the girls. Next day, a catfish yokai named Himemiko of the swamp comes to visit Nanami to pay her respect. However, Tomoe forbids her from entering the room and starts an argument with Himemiko's familiar Akata. Nanami intervenes and uses sacred word binding to stop Tomoe from causing any more trouble. Himemiko then asks Nanami to help her reconnect with a human boy named Kotaro Urashima, who she met 10 years ago at Lake Isora. Even though Tomoe says that it's forbidden for a yokai to love a human, Nanami promises to help Himemiko. The next day, Nanami and Tomoe go to town to look for Kotaro and find him working at a restaurant. Nanami persuades Kotaro to meet Himemiko in the park. The following afternoon, Tomoe and Nanami transforms Himemiko to look like a human girl and sends her to the park, where Kotaro has Himemiko play with his Rubik's Cube while he leaves to buy sodas. However, when Himemiko is bullied by two boys, Nanami discreetly boosts Kotaro's confidence using a white talisman she places on a tree. This gives him the courage to save Himemiko from the bullies. Next day, in Nanami's school, some boys were playing with a white snake. Nanami saves a white snake from being bullied by her classmates at school. As she releases the snake, it leaves a mark of betrothal on her wrist. When she returns home, Tomoe finds out and decides to accompany her to school to ensure her safety. After finishing their work, Nanami goes to return a class book alone because Tomoe falls asleep, but she is suddenly kidnapped by Mizuki, who is the white snake that had marked her. Mizuki takes her to his shrine in hopes of marrying her, but she refuses to stay with him. She tried to run away, but it was no use. The shrine has some kind of magical barrier. Nanami discovers that the water god of the shrine, Yanori Mitsuha, passed away years ago. Tomoe comes to her rescue and burns down the shrine, but Nanami stops him from destroying the Yanomori's precious plum tree. Before leaving, Nanami promises to see Mizuki again when he feels lonely. On the next day, Narukami, the god of thunder, is upset upon learning that Nanami, a human, is the new land god, and she desires to have Tomoe as her familiar. She tracks Nanami to the school, steals her deity mark, and turns Tomoe into a child. After stealing the deity mark, she herself became the land god and took over the shrine. While Nanami and Tomoe wander the streets, Nanami realizes that Tomoe has a high fever. She quickly runs to the hospital, but then realizes that she needs a yokai doctor, not a human doctor. Kurama finds them and brings them to his house, where Nanami takes care of Tomoe, who is ill due to his weakened state. Meanwhile, the shrine is falling apart as Tomoe is not there to maintain it with his power. The next day, Narukami's shrine spirits summon Tomoe to see their goddess. Tomoe leaves as he didn't want to make Nanami suffer for him. Narukami asks Tomoe to be her familiar, but suddenly Tomoe disappears. The following night, with the help of Kurama, Onikiri, and Kotetsu, Nanami returns to the shrine, but Tomoe hides from Narukami within the shrine. Narukami and Nanami made a bet. As a god of thunder was unable to find Tomoe, but if a mere human could find Tomoe within the shrine, Narukami would return Tomoe back to his original form. After Nanami finds Tomoe inside his pocket mirror, Narukami's shrine spirits return the deity marked to Nanami, and Tomoe reverts to his normal form. To express his gratitude for Nanami's help, Tomoe kisses her to reveal the commitment of being her familiar. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions or recommendations, please feel free to write them in the comments section. I truly value each and every view, like, and comment that I receive, as it helps me create better content for you. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.